Why is the next energy date so far away? Wow. Well, I'm just sitting here summoning some sort of answer. So why, why, why? Okay. Why? There's like I'm just they just said we're so thrilled to see you so excited. We have an energy date available that is so full of sparkles and fun and delight. It is November 17th, 27 hours. It starts at it's somewhere between 11 p.m. and midnight the day before and runs right through the day. And the energy is available. This happened before. It's like a rain of gamma rays. I don't know what a gamma ray is. It's been brought up before. So, yeah, November 17th, use 11:11 GMT, unify, have a party. There's somebody with what are they? Marionettes. And they're I find this week to be really, really high, like visions and stuff. Um, Coming around the corner there, and as we came around the corner, I said, "Oh, Keith lived there. He was the guy with the long hair." And Evan says, "Get out of my head," because he was just about to say, "Remember Keith lived there, the guy with the long hair." He said it was identical. He said, "You almost said," he said, "my tongue was rolled around the words and you said them." And he says, "You've done it like 3, 4 times a day because whatever is happening for us," and it's not us as in this house here, us. I know this is not the question you asked, but this is what's coming. They would have you be in fear all the time. The mere discussion of who they are in itself produces fear. Sorry, I still have an itchy eye. um, that took me right out of that. Just a second. There is only one medicine right now: the production of joy. The production of joy, and that sounds corny, but what they want is the production of the field that joy and gratitude create. So to us, it's a word. To them, it's a pulse. So when we have any kind of joy and then gratitude, it creates a field. So we use words, they see pulse. We pulse. And this field, Bradfield talked about it in one of his songs. gather the gold that's planted around you, strand by strand, you'll feel somewhat more certain. And he was often given sentences that have been put in his music, and I often think that that one was given to him because the beings talked about the when we have our arms out and our field is, 3 feet around us, and it's filled with this sparkly optimism and joy, and just everything that's great about being a human lives in this field of potential, but also these little strands of gold that we can draw into us. So, in the third chakra of your body, between your breastbone and your belly button, um, there's an energy center in there, and that is the energy center of this huge fire the grid movement. It's yellow. It's yellow. Everything's about being yellow. And what they want us to do when we go into meditations or joy moments and then gratitude moments is to see these strands of gold being drawn into an umbilical cord that comes out of that spot I just described. Now, when we're tight and not connected to our source, to our truth, that cord is very, very tight. It almost looks like a wire. It's so tight. And it comes right out. It's tight around the pole. So energetically, emotionally, you're tight. You're pulled tight. You're not trusting. You're everything kind of concaves in on you, and this energy field becomes very constricted with very little flow home and back, because that's what you want. Now, home can be whatever you need it to be, right? Home for me is probably very different than for somebody else who describes home. But again, don't judge each other's experiences. Home is where you feel that I know I come from place. So you want this cord to expand and get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, because what you actually want is a tube coming out of this area. And the chakra itself is actually, can be this big when you're in a state of fearlessness. When you don't feel somebody's going to attack you and you're comfortable with people you love, this gets bigger naturally. So one of the little exercises you can do is to draw these gold strands into it and will it to open. So you will it to open by thinking of something joyful and saying thank you, and just taking a moment to draw that energy into this field, because you want a richer, deeper connection with this source. But guess what, guys? There's no friggin' strict rules about what you got to do on Friday or Sunday or any other day. This is what it is to find this connection. This is what it is to find this wholeness. We each become individually self-policing beings. And how we practice or how we love our sources or our gods or our people is all part of our fascination with each other. Right? It's just going to be so much better. So anyway, you gather the gold into this tube. And I started to tell you, this is another thing we'll talk down the road. I'll get Celia to tell you about it. They called it the Yellow Band Campaign. And it makes perfect sense because they've been talking about these yellow ribbons we wear around our arms. We could put Fire the Grid on them, and I'm like, wow, you guys are like 12-year-olds. Like, let's get pom-poms. So, there's little things we can do to feel unified, to feel part of something. And that's what we need. But we need to be part of something positive and moving in the right direction. There's so many things you can join right now, which are everybody's screaming and fighting and angry. And we need to lift the field every day, constantly, choosing the best way out of this by looking away from that which is not serving us. That's it. So the Yellow Band Campaign is about these little ribbons, getting our field up into a band around the planet that we exist in. 857 hertz. It's high. Somebody said to me the other day, oh, that's really high. That's not really attainable for humans. And I'm like, huh. And when you say that, you're right. Nobody will get it. I say it is. I know how easy it is for us to be our true selves. I know it. But I'll tell you what, when we get into a human blip, it takes me 5 days to get out of it. So I go back to if I'm still struggling with these things and I've had so much communication and experience and all these different things, and you have a human moment and you're like, oh, and get the whip out, oh, horrible human. And we beat ourselves up so quick. But if we just choose to say, oh, isn't that interesting? Anyway, I don't know where that all came from. That's another blurb. She'll put it in a video, I'm sure.